Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night. It's 9 o'clock-ish. Welcome to What's on Joe Mind. It's time for another edition of the TeamStream. I'm Mike Irizarry, up here in the top corner.
No.
Joining us in the bottom row, the queen of G.I. Joe cosplay, back after a 2-week absence. It's Joe Colton, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I missed you.
Keeping the world safe for democracy.
Mm-hmm. And celebrating the West.
Yeah, he got a nice big steak dinner.
Now we're talking.
That's all he needs in life, isn't it? Occasionally a steak, occasionally some sushi.
And cheesecake.
And some cheesecake. Definitely.
Now we're talking.
Definitely cheesecake. But, and also joining me on the top row here, the former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand, Hasbro, Mark Weber, the hot.
That's right. The once and never king. So happy to be with you.
All right. And also joining us this evening, Zero Sugar, Werner's Ginger Ale.
Oh, now we're talking.
What?
I'm here posing a direct threat to Joe Colton's Canada Dry.
As the premier spokesmodel for Canada Dry, Joe Colton is contractually obligated to spit all over your Werner's no sugar. There you go.
I want to give Mike a compliment, so we have to pause for a minute. The little icon you're using today on our live stream, on the YouTube, the little icon.
Oh, okay.
Clip art, I like it.
All right. Well, it's nice that it actually worked for once.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I put that stuff together.
And it doesn't work.
I am no graphic artist, mind you, so it takes me a lot longer than it would a normal human being.
You did great.
But this time it just all decided to work. So it was yeah. I'm not going to look too much in the gift horse in the mouth. I'm just going to take another sip of this relaxing Werner's ginger ale.
Fuck you.
Oh, and now we're down to the swear jar.
I paid you a compliment.
If there was a Greek dry, would you be torn, Joe?
Depends. What is the Greek dry? Is it alcoholic? Non-alcoholic?
Oh, that's a good point. If it was alcoholic, you could mix it with the Canada Dry.
I could.
And just call it the Colt.
Oh.
There is no such thing as a Greek dry anything.
An olive, perhaps.
No such thing.
No?
I have an olive tree behind me. I don't know if you guys can see.
Is that the one that's indoor?
Yeah. And I've got another one over there.
I think it's totally cool that you made a sunroom and planted things inside it.
Well, the cicadas are going bananas, so I brought them in because I don't want them creating slits and laying their eggs in my olive trees. That sounds so inappropriate.
Let that go.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't hear anything after slit.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Just blank that out.
I blacked out. Sorry.
It's all right. Good.
You were on mute. No, she wasn't.
I'm going to put myself on mute.
Right.
No one.
All right. So I don't mean to cut chit chat short today, but my God, a lot of stuff happened this week. A lot of it happened just earlier today. So we got a lot to talk about. Everybody is here because first reactions to Hasbro's Fan First Friday, the opening weekend of YoJo June. I don't know how many hashtags they're expecting us to fit into all this stuff. I did my best. So, let's get to it. Let me get things started. Well, let's just get a brief thought on your overall impressions. Mark, we'll start with you. How'd you feel about today?
I mean, I thought almost everything they showed was spot on, or at least solid thinking. I have some feedback here and there. But by and large, I liked what they showed us. And one thing I liked very much, even though it was a very light touch, that they acknowledged the difficulty fans are having with the Cobra Island stuff. So, usually, the business tactic in general, not even Hasbro specific, is just avoid it, focus on the wins. But this has been an ongoing problem for quite some time. And a big frustration to the fan community is that it just hasn't ever been acknowledged.
Right.
So I like that it didn't have to be more than that. Just to say, we know you're having trouble fighting this stuff. We hear you, and we are working to fix it. Okay, cool.
The folks that we see on these live streams have nothing to do with that.
Right.
Yeah.
They're designers and marketing people, and they don't have anything to do with distribution. They don't have anything to do with logistics. And so a lot of times they're not going to have much to say about it anyway.
But I'll meet you halfway on that. As the marketer, you need to have an ear to the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this has been a major problem for quite some time. And so you need to, it's not like you can just say, oh, okay, well, I'll cover that in the next fan event that we do. But you could run it up the flagpole and say, they're really angry about this.
Right.
And we need to show that we are hearing it. Even if we haven't done anything or can't do anything to fix it, we need to acknowledge that we hear their complaint.
Right.
And no better place to do it than in this sort of thing where you're not taking live questions or answering anything live. You can just make a short statement, which they did today.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't absolve marketing because they can't change it. It's their job to push it up the ladder and get approval to at least acknowledge it publicly.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah. I was going to say the fact that they did it live, even though you couldn't say anything to it, like they didn't get verbal questions or responses, I think was telling that they finally wanted to say, I'm sorry, we acknowledge, we're not ignoring. I know we just avoid it like for months at a time. So it was a good step. I think they will get some leeway from fans.
Yeah. And if you had typed up the exact same thing and posted it on GIJoe.com, you'd have an unending stream of people tetherballing that response. So
screen capping and then making memes of it and just
So they did it right, absolutely right. They just did it 6 months later than they probably should have. So I give them credit. I give them credit for doing it.
Yeah.
But it should have been done a long time ago.
A while ago. Yeah. And let's hope that they can follow through on fixing these distribution issues finally.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small step, like the small ginger bite of the Verner's sugar-free ginger ale.
Hey, if you want a big ginger bite, just let me know. Was that creepy?
That's why we keep you up there.
It was supposed to be.
That's why we keep you back,
right?
Kind of tucked up in the corner.
When I'm hurting, it's technically ginger ale as well.
The little duck is there to keep you in line. So, anyways, let's get this party started. Why is not? There it is! Yay! Technical stuff.
I like being the biggest white thing on this show, so I'm a little threatened at the moment.
All right, first off, nothing to do with today's Fan First Friday, but our good friends Brian Hickey and Patty Lennon, their book Total Action Force: The Battle Years, funded.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with not a ton of time to spare, they did it with about 15 hours remaining. But they did fund. They are at 100%. That book is green lit. We are go. 31,671 euros were raised. The goal was 27,000.
Nice.
Almost got that first stretch goal. Maybe they can fill in the difference there. I don't know. And 242 backers backed the project for this fantastic reference type guide. The goal was 220 backers, so we got that taken care of. We'll have a couple extra just to send off for promotional stuff. So,
definitely.
Are probably finally getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And will hopefully watch us in the morning.
And I hope they spell my name right in that book.
Right?
Yeah, I'm in there. Get me in there.
You better be in there.
I am in there. I'm backing it.
You're part of the What's on Joe Mind push. It's legendary. We don't back failing Kickstarters.
I have not backed a lot of Kickstarters in my life, but I think this is kind of how they go, right? There's usually a big groundswell at the end.
Yes.
So I was watching it and I was optimistic, but I was starting to get a little nervous. And then it felt like it just got through like a hammer. Bam, done.
If what we've backed in the past is any guide, there's always a big groundswell at the beginning, and then that middle 2 weeks is just hell on earth as that meter never moves.
Right.
And you get close to the end, and everybody who's on the fence starts to decide if they're on or if they're off, and enough of those people get on, and you have situations like this. So congratulations again to Patty. Congratulations again to Brian. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good for them. And good for us. It's going to be a great book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Congratulations.
Oh, look at that. Lava Bears.
Here is our first reveal from Fan First Friday. And this is Roadblock, Heavy Artillery Roadblock. And he is an Amazon exclusive. And very reminiscent of the 1984 edition of the figure. They went available on Amazon today at 2 p.m. Limited amount available at 1 for Hasbro Pulse subscribers. I checked in at 4 minutes after 1 and they were gone. So
oh, really?
But that's okay. With these Amazon exclusives, there was no problem with Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting there to be a problem with Roadblock. Considering this is the third version of Roadblock we're getting, so that's going to turn some people off. They've probably ordered more of these than they did Storm Shadow. So I don't think anybody who wants Roadblock is going to necessarily have a problem getting Roadblock from Amazon.
Fourth version of Roadblock, right? Including the repaint?
Well, yeah, I suppose. I'm not going to. It's more of a variant than a version, though, right?
4 in a year.
Yeah. I'm 3.5. I'll meet you halfway.
All right.
We'll go Vegas on it.
I mean, back in the day, it costs an item. So
you and your technicalities, Weber.
I'm just saying.
You're not in the Hasbro boardroom anymore, man. Relax a little.
Right?
Relax a little.
Calm down.
I just left, right?
But you can see he's got the web gear that helps cover up his, say it with me, Weber.
Brutal chest cut.
But it's a new chest mold that actually has the T-shirt on there. He's got a new head, I believe. There's a brand new gun down there.
Helmet.
It's got the helmet. There's all kinds of good things going on with this Roadblock figure. I'm pretty excited for this guy. He looks like Roadblock.
Yeah.
You know, more so. I didn't mind the Cobra Island Roadblock, but I like this guy a whole lot better than Cobra Island Roadblock. And here's a close-up of him with his side piece, which is how nobody has Roadblock, is running around with a pistol. But
right.
enough.
I got one. This picture's perfect for one of my points. I want to hop in here.
Go ahead.
It kind of bugs me how the neck is a separate piece from the head, is a separate piece from the chest. Like, that's kind of a rough transition for me. If he was wearing like a T-shirt and that was a natural break at the neckline, you wouldn't notice it at all. But when it's flesh to flesh to flesh, and it is clearly 3 different pieces.
Do you think they should have had more of a tank, not a tank top, but a crew neck?
I don't
break.
I don't mind the tank top. I'm fine with the tank top, but I wonder why the neck needs to be a separate piece. Can't the neck be part of the torso and then the head just pops on the ball?
They used to be like that.
Why is this one different?
Well, there's 2 different neck joints. They've got the neck joint moves
up and down.
The ball and the neck joint.
Yeah.
Well,
I like this comment here. I prefer this version over Cobra Island Leisure Suit Marvin edition.
I mean, a lot of people just referred to that one as heavy duty, right?
Yeah.
Because it's different enough to not be Roadblock. They probably should have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it would have sold better. They wouldn't have even had to change anything.
Well,
I do like this one better than the other two. Although I do like the Cobra Island heavy duty, and I got him because I'm making him heavy duty.
That's right. My only issues with this figure are the breaks, the break of chest to neck to head and the brutal chest cut. Outside of that, great
does the
figure.
shoulder from the traps to the shoulder and then the bicep, that whole separation bother you?
It bothers me a bit. I know it can't be totally seamless, but you have to have shoulder articulation, right?
Yeah.
You can't not have that. And the reason why most of us fell in love with the Real American Hero, G.I. Joe, is because the articulation was so much better than everything else in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a kill the articulation Nazi. I just think you always have to balance it. What are you sacrificing in look or what you're getting? And I just think that much neck articulation probably isn't necessary. Same thing with the chest. And you'll notice on the other figures that we saw today, they are just like the 25th anniversary stuff. They introduced this chest cut, and now they're covering it up as often as they can.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point?
I feel like they heard you.
Because
they hear me.
Somebody made a catchphrase about it.
Right? They hear me. They just don't listen.
So also today, this is an Amazon exclusive. So
sold out. I just checked.
Is it on Amazon even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not available.
Okay.
And it went up under a funky name.
Mission Milky Way.
It's like Roadblock's heading to one of those naughty dimensions.
Right?
Or a weird party.
Yeah. How are you gonna name a Roadblock figure after a chocolate bar? Come on.
And it's like GIJ SCS Mission Milky Way. It's so weird.
And that's not on Hasbro. That's on Amazon. Like
maybe they didn't.
And you know what? Kudos to the community, because I was typing in heavy artillery Roadblock, classified Roadblock, bunch of different things, and getting the same result, which wasn't what I needed all the time. But as soon as the community sniffed it out, it was all over Facebook. And I dig that once people got theirs, they were really trying to help everybody else. So that was cool.
I guess Snickers would work better for Charles.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Next was another big hit from Fan First Friday today, and it came in the form of this guy. Boom. That hero Snake Eyes comes with Timber. And Timber is fantastic. He is fully articulated. The wolf has interchangeable heads.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it's beautiful is what it is. This is an amazing figure in and of its own. Like, I would pay $20 for this.
Yeah.
But they packed it.
They got the texture right on that wolf. Like, oof, so great. Yeah.
But they packed him with a Snake Eyes. It looks like this.
Yeah.
That is monster commando load Snake Eyes there. There's not a sword to be found on this guy. This is pure Uzi gun toting, first 20 issues of the comic book series Snake Eyes.
Yep.
And yeah, he's pretty incredible.
I want it.
And yeah, this one got me out of my chair.
Yeah. And not to be that guy, but I usually am. Where's the demolition pack?
Well, all right.
Come on.
Be that guy.
I could be.
The accessory that as a child I always left in the case.
It did. Yeah. It was kind of a man purse, but okay.
You're gonna lose it, or just leave it in the pack.
Right.
So, and the only other bit I have, because he's fantastic, and the only nit I have on this is the big white G.I. Joe star logo on his web gear.
Oh, I missed that.
Right? Like everything else is all muted black and different blacks and fantastic. And then there's this big white star on his chest. I'm like, you can get that off if you really don't like it. So it's not critical. But that's a small nitpick. This is a fantastic figure and a fantastic set. And even the dog has a brutal chest cut. So that's good to see.
That dog is a
He's not
wolf.
He's a giant dog.
With a giant chest cut. Just saying.
Not a dog.
Mm.
Points taken away from Honcho.
It's a canine. Same family.
Can't talk to you anymore.
Roadblock is gonna retail for about $20. This guy here is a deluxe figure. He is the Snake Eyes Timber Pack, the Hero Snake Eyes listing. This is $39.99, and this is not any kind of an exclusive, from what I understand. This is going to be wherever. They never really said where it was not going to be. So I'm
not the network.
Yeah, not network. But it does not have Cobra Island listings or anything like that. So I'm going to assume that this is a general release item.
That'd be great.
That's a little steep.
Yeah.
Double price. You know, is Timber a $20 figure?
Sure he is. It's got interchangeable heads.
He's got one accessory.
His head.
I'm just saying, is this value equivalent to Baroness and the Cycle and all her accessories?
I would
no, but have we had a good thing a Timber like this?
No. And I'm thrilled that they did Timber, but this is the first time, maybe other than the Fortnite figure, which they're paying an extra royalty on, that it feels like, okay, we're starting to grab a little bit here. It's a little bit of a cash grab.
It's not a dog hawk, that's a wolf. He doesn't take walkies, and he thinks Alpo is for sissies.
That's straight out of Stalker's mouth. I know my joke.
Dean Fleming, good job there. But
I know my joke.
If you're going to compare Timber to the Coil Cycle, I'm taking Timber 9 times out of 10, and that 10th time is just because you caught me after I woke up. So yeah, no.
I think I would have priced it if it was up to me, probably around $34.95, because that makes it a little bit better.
I think that's the value. But if they want to try to do a grab and just see if it affects anything, it probably will, right? I don't think there's many fans who are going to go, I would have bought it at 35, but not at 40.
That wolf. That wolf is probably more expensive to make than either of the motorcycles.
That's true.
Probably true.
So, yeah,
the amount of sculpting to get that fur right.
Yeah, no problem. Price
hats off to that guy.
And I like very much that they gave you 2 different heads, because they could have just given us one, and nobody would have said you really should have given us a second head, right? So
exactly.
They wouldn't have known that was an option,
right?
Now, if we got a tail and a head, that would have been great.
And I was just about to say something that sounded dirty, and I went, I'm not going to go there. And then Joe said, we could have got more tail.
Yeah, that's what we expect from Joe Colton, though. she's kind of the shipwreck of our broadcast.
Yeah.
No.
There's a reason why I have a G.I. Joe shirt.
Right?
She's a foreigner, and she doesn't understand our custom.
She wanted more tail, but we got plenty ahead. Moving on.
Whoa, hey.
See?
Okay.
I said it.
Economics of molds. Here we go.
Moving on.
Next, we move into the Cobra Island portion of
Boo.
Everybody just take a second. Get that out of your now. Boo.
Right?
I'm going to be excited.
There's that X-Pac heat starting to rise.
I'm going to be a positive one.
Look, they're wonderful. The items themselves are fantastic. We're just not real happy with the way Target is handling this situation. So next up is our good friend Major Blood. Woo! He's already made his way out, but they did spend some time covering Major Blood. They did announce that he would be available on Pulse for a while, and he really was. I've not seen him in the store, but that wasn't really bothering me yet because officially he had been released for 3 days. So I wasn't too worked up about it, but the opportunity to grab him online here, I took advantage of that opportunity.
So there was a guy that came down. John Commer sent me a video. That guy came down to where I live, to the Target by my place. I didn't even get a chance to leave to go see.
Set this up. We have no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, I will. So he came down to grab a case of Major Bloods because there was 6 apparently at the Target by me. He bought them all and took off. And I was like, it's literally the first day, dude. He just like, he didn't buy one. He was just one of those guys who just, it's fine.
Yeah. Were you able to grab one online?
No, but I wasn't, but Sean got me one. And so I owe him big time.
Yeah, you don't owe him that big.
What?
Actually, we kind of all owe Sean because Sean keeps hitting up our coffee account.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Everybody
else needs to go to that link down there.
He's a sweetheart.
He's a good dude. I've met him in person. He's the genuine article.
Next time I'm in Louisiana, I have promised him that we will do lunch. So
get some beignets.
Yes, the wrist lock hasn't been there, so I have to take him down there, and we will.
Being in Louisiana for lunch is a good thing to be in Louisiana for.
Yes.
If you're going to do one thing in Louisiana, eat.
Not drink?
Well, that too. But,
I mean.
But I would even put eating ahead of drinking there.
Yeah, the food down there is delicious because it's a mixture of like Cajun and Southern food.
Last I checked, they didn't name it Gumbo Street. Just saying.
They did. It just got renamed. Big Bourbon got in there and started throwing their money.
Yeah. The French and the bourbon. You better pay for his meal too. I will.
Yeah.
Seems legit.
Even gonna buy him a beer.
So we got Major Blood and his big 6-gun of justice there, and his missile launcher, and his backpack with other missiles in it, his removable helmet, and his eye socket, which isn't an eye patch, but it's got some computer thing going on in there.
Yeah.
Which is colored red in the artwork, but not on the figure.
And his robot arm, and
cybernetic arm.
There's a lot going on with Major Blood here. It is.
And look how well that chest cut is covered. He looks fantastic.
There is nothing you could do to stop me from calling this a robot arm. Nothing you can do.
Cybernetic.
Robot arms.
He's a beautiful figure.
Here's the other shot that Hasbro's PR sent out to those of us doing this thing. Here he is aiming that missile launcher, a little bit of a close-up shot.
So cool.
Interesting that he's got the external rivets, which says that he was designed before Zartan was designed, but here he is coming out after Zartan. So it just gives another illustration of how screwy the release schedule has been thanks to this pandemic.
You know who did all that riveting?
Rosie.
Wes. Wes loves riveting. More riveting.
I'm not gonna contribute to that. Nope.
If you say it out loud, will he appear?
Yes.
Probably. It's like Candyman.
I mean, this is a family show.
I'm not sure with a rivet gun.
I'm not sure what kind of family, but I'm gonna stop and take a refreshing drink.
There you go.
Of some Werner's Zero.
You can choke on that, Werner's.
Joe, say rivet a couple times and see if the door is locked when the show's over.
I'm not doing that.
You say out with the cicadas.
All right, so there we go. Rack Time Rob with some insight. The base body is Cobra Infantry. That's why he's got the rivets.
No.
All right, then.
All
right.
Thanks, Rob.
I don't remember the Cobra Infantry having a robot arm, but whatever.
It's a robot arm. Robot.
Potato.
Whatever. Moving on.
Robot arms, but you see the missiles fitting into his backpack there. Just awesome. I love it.
I mean, this guy is top 3 easy, right?
Yeah.
All told.
I don't know because I don't have him like some people.
Yeah. I haven't opened him.
Now, do you like him better with the helmet off or helmet on? Because off is just as good.
Yeah.
That head sculpt is. Whew.
It is pretty amazing.
I do like that we're starting to get some helmets, though, right? Like Roadblock's got one, Blood's got one.
Yeah.
They're a big part, and I love, just like with the original, but the Real American Hero Joe line, when they're a separate piece, it's always better. Not just because you have the choice to have it on or off, but then it has to be bulky enough, right? Some of those old Joe figures that came with molded helmets, it was like, it looks more like a skull cap, right? Like it couldn't fit over an actual skull. And as a guy with a gigantic cranium, you know, I like to think, you know, I got a good, my finger on the pulse of what would fit outside of a head. So.
Well, and speaking of which, it actually brings up my one quibble with the next guy who we were shown. It's barbecue. It's finally barbecue's day. Finally, we see barbecue. Long rumored. Gabriel Kelly joins us, and Joe is sighing for some reason. I think she's congested. But again, barbecue's awesome. They've updated his gear. They gave him not just regular axe, but giant axe for when he's really needing to tear stuff down. But man, just give him a head without a helmet on.
Yes.
Just
That's my sigh.
Show us what barbecue looks like, please, somebody.
Why didn't you give him an alternate head?
Yeah. Again, love this figure. Don't get me wrong; it is fantastic. You know, the backpack there. They've got all kinds of detail on that show different tanks for different types of fires. The gun comes apart. You know, the extinguisher gun comes apart and looks like it's really well constructed. He's got the firefighting axe has a little holster on his leg. The extinguisher has a holster on his other leg. The big axe goes in the backpack. I mean, barbecue is he took some work, man. This is a quality figure. But man, just give him a head without a helmet on it.
I love when he showed the cord, right? The hose. I marked out a little bit, right? Isn't it the first time we've gotten that with a classified figure?
Yes.
And I just always dug that when I got it with a Joe figure when I was a kid, where it would come with airtight, or just because it was, you know, it was flexible, it was a little different. I liked it better than the flash plastic, and the breaker. Yeah, I liked it a lot better. It just felt better than that. And like I dig it because I can see that hose being on airtight and being on other guys moving forward. So that was my favorite part was the hose, which is unique.
I'm not even touching that.
Yeah,
that's a great figure.
That was a layup. But Letty at heart, the designer, is a Lord of the Rings, swords and sorcery. Like that's very close to his heart.
Yeah.
So when I saw he got an axe that would make any Middle Earth dwarf happy, I know exactly where that came from. So.
Well, he's got two axes, right? He's got the firefighting axe and the combat axe, right?
Yeah, and I like that one is on the thigh holster, right? Because where else would you carry an axe but on the outside of your leg? That's not problematic.
It's not.
Don't run too fast, barbecue.
Well, it's anyways. It's the one. It's situated the one way where that axe blade wouldn't be swinging around. So.
Right, but how are you going to draw that?
Carefully.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Carefully. Maybe he can do it. I have faith in him.
Hold on, let me put my extinguisher gun down and carefully remove my axe from my leg holster.
He's a Joe, man. He's a Joe.
One hand that stuff. Like, try not to say S-H-I-T.
That door is going down.
Well, door, yes, but
throw it.
But trooper with weapon. I don't see barbecue as he's a specialist, right? I don't see him in frontline combat that often.
Yes. Hey, you gotta get your support guys in here.
I dig him. He's great looking. Look at that gigantic vest covering up the chest cut.
Why give him a head? My God.
I mean, they're doing a much better job with this helmet in recent incarnations than they did in 1985.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh yes. Like my bitching is very I like the figure. I just harp on that little thing.
I think what we need to focus on with barbecue is that the honcho is a big fan of the hose.
That's right.
I'm not focusing on that.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
I'm going to type it into the comments even.
See, people know what I'm talking about. He's 95% perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what people are going to do left and right? They're just going to find a Marvel Legends head and pop it on. So they'll grab whoever, Pyro or who cares? I mean, barbecue did have red hair, supposedly, right?
Here we go. The
Yes.
honcho is a big fan of the hose.
Yes.
That's right.
Hose. Oops.
Not the other hose.
Either way. I don't judge.
Hey.
I don't judge. Live your life.
Way, aha, yeah.
Live your life. Who am I to tell you how to live your life?
Oh.
But like, who's a redheaded Marvel guy they can just throw on here?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Banshee.
Frogman? I don't know.
Hey, Frogman. Even that. There you go.
No, we're not doing that.
Oh, there's that gentleman looker right
Arcade.
Back off,
Arcade.
poser.
They just made an arcade figure. Arcade's head pops on. Boom. There you go.
It'd probably be a little out of scale. Barbecue's a big
Time.
strapping lad, and Arcade's kind of a little weenie.
I mean, if you here's a bit. I mean, if you actually want to get, super critical, is that really a helmet on top of a real human-sized skull?
Kind of.
No.
Maybe he's just
No.
got a really
No.
small head.
Little tiny head.
Is he like a shrunken head? No.
Tiny head. And Arcade's got that rictus look. So
That Cobra Eel just let himself go.
Arcade is a
let
weenie.
me get the logo up there so everybody can see. Very nice.
I hope you choke on it.
It's good.
Red-headed Marvel legend. How about Carnage?
Yes.
Wait. Doesn't quite work.
That's close, right? Close. And then lastly,
Daredevil. There you go.
For the classified series,
Blind guy.
this guy. And
Yeah.
wow, did the house come down on this one?
Yeah.
Breaker with the Ram cycle, and there's a lot going on here. That's for sure. But you can see him there in his casual pose. He's got the big puffy web gear. He's got they explained it as being a support and communication specialist. He's going to have to carry more stuff, so they gave him more pockets. He worked his black strap web gear from the old 82, 83 design into this costume. He's got his riding gloves. They kind of condensed his communications gear to where it's all encased in the helmet, so he doesn't have a backpack.
Yep.
Which is cool. But really, this is, if you were going to update that 82 Breaker, this is how this guy would look.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to make nearly enough of this.
No,
because every customizer out there is going to army build this to build out his original 13 Joes. Because would you like, let's say the Cobra cycle came with I don't know, a Viper and not Baroness. You might army build that to get a bunch of Vipers, but do you really want a bunch of that coil cycle? It's kind of, it's not really from the lore.
Maybe two, maybe three.
But could you use a couple extra Ram cycles?
Oh yeah,
bet you can. Absolutely. And this is a fantastic update. It's so good. Mm-hmm. And look at that chest cut there, completely obscuring with that full vest, right?
He looks amazing.
He really does look great. I got two nitpicks on this guy.
Okay.
The bike should be a little longer, nose to tail. I love how they made the
it's a little.
Yeah, I love how they made the tires more chunky. I got no problem with them updating it, and I think what they did with the Gatling cannon is incredible.
Mm-hmm. How it sits in.
As long as it's sturdy, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at that sidecar, the wheel on the bottom is really small, especially compared to the ones on the bike, and the fact that it splits apart. I wonder if that's going to age poorly. but the idea behind it is absolute gold. And it makes up a little bit. It is classic Breaker, but I just wish he had a weapon or two.
That's my one quibble right there.
Even if it was just a pistol and a knife.
Yeah. Just
right?
a arm. Yeah.
Yeah, because to say, well, he's got a weapon, he's got a Gatling cannon. You're like, yeah, but that is so off-brand for this character. And I get it. Originally, he didn't come with a weapon at all, but just a pistol and a holster and a knife, maybe in a boot sheath, perfect. And that's my lone real complaint about the thing.
Yeah. And I'm sure that a lot of that is because those parts are going to get used again and again and again as more characters from the early run of G.I. Joe get made. But you got a holster that just goes over the leg as it is, right? You can't just throw that on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know piece costs or anything like that. So I'm no, maybe that's what would have tipped it over the scale and thrown the margins all off so that we couldn't charge $39.99 for it. I don't know.
I mean, even if you didn't want to add it to the figure sculpt, even if you just had a knife and a pistol in there, right? They don't have to have somewhere to go. It's better when they do, but they don't have to have a location.
Look, in 25th anniversary, the Ram had weapons in the saddlebag.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could do that again. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to be used as Grunt, right?
I mean, he could be all sorts of people, right?
Why? Why would you use him as Grunt?
Why not?
Oh, I mean, like later down the road?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of those pieces will get reissued for Grunt.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these will be turning up with a lot of those guys.
I mean, if you lose the helmet, or get a different helmet or whatever, maybe even use Roadblock's helmet on him if that works, and paint the beard black, he's clutch. He's a great clutch, just like this. So he's got reuse possibility, but what he's got is customized. He is customizer candy. They'll go nuts. They will go nuts for this guy. Already are probably. And the bike is great. I know they talked about how they wanted to make it dirt bikey, and fine, but it is just a little too short. It just needed to be like a half inch longer, and it would be perfect.
Matt Rubin said Grunt, Steeler, Rock and Roll, and Zap.
Whatever. We can make lists.
Zap.
We can make lists too.
Can't be Zap with that beard.
It can be his legs, like body.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Steeler either, but the body could be Steeler.
Yeah.
Steeler's the best. You keep his name out of your mouth.
Hey, what? You're awfully feisty tonight.
He's got to have a gold.
Like, what's going on?
Steeler's one of my favorite Joes, man. He better have a shoulder holster and a gold turtleneck, or GTFO, baby.
I hope that I'm not like this if they ever release a low light.
Nobody likes low light.
Shut your face.
Fighting words.
I don't know, whatever. My favorite guy's already on the shelf, so
Get out.
I wonder how long after Recondo we're going to get low light.
Probably 2-3 waves.
Just saying.
2-3.
Why?
Waves.
Why you gotta poke the bear?
You know why you're mad? Because you know I'm right.
Fucking hate
that Steeler Recondo interrogator wave will happen, and then a couple years down the road we'll get that low light wave
with Cobra Island Mercer.
Yeah, Diana, Steeler better come with a bad attitude and an alternate Baroness or else. That's right.
Who landed the Baroness in G.I. Joe canon? Destro and Steeler. That's it. So
that's it.
A G.I. Joe canon.
Whatever.
A G.I. Joe.
Why you gotta bring that up?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you two tonight?
What's wrong with
I've been here for 2 weeks.
Us two.
I'm all punchy. I'm all punchy from Hello Dolly.
You're the one invoking the swear jar. Brought to you by all the cool stuff.
It's fine.
And McClure's pickles.
Fine.
How's our pickle stock going, Mike? You okay?
Yeah, we're almost done with another jar, so I've still got one full jar and some change left.
All right.
Wow.
I'm gonna disagree with this assessment. Fred 7, the Baroness landed Fred 7.
No, he didn't.
The Baroness landed Fred 7.
Get out.
No, I don't believe so. I'll have to reread that.
She is totally in charge in that one.
Hey,
landed.
Over in the comments, our friend Michael Sexton has got fantastic concepts. Chris Evans Caphead, Ragnarok Thor, rock and roll. You bet.
Okay.
The Wes Whitlock, Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, Flash. Okay.
No.
Well, who does Flash look like? I mean,
Flash does not hit me as the grizzled, 5 years too old for his role, Jeremy Renner type.
Yeah.
Maybe
he has that fresh-faced young guy on the team.
Yeah.
And no offense, because I know he's one of your favorites, and I like him too. What Flash looks like visually doesn't even matter.
Not really, no.
No, he's all about the gear and the chest protector and the visor and no, this breaker can't be Flash.
No, because Flash did not have a luxurious beard.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking. Flash has got to have the padding, right? The violator, breaker, shred, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not him. He can be short fuse. He can be
this
guys.
This can't be Flash the same way Canada Dry cannot be Werner.
I'm gonna ignore you. Can we talk about that Gatling gun?
War of the Gingers, and I'm caught in the middle. It's ironic, don't you think?
Kinda.
I hope your foot hurts tomorrow.
My foot hurts every day.
My foot hurts all the time from kicking so much ass. Moving on. The Gatling gun's great.
You got a little better look at it here with the Gatling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the sidecar.
Yep.
And he's got his goggles on for riding the bike. Yeah.
And this is a great example of what it should look like. This is it done right, where they didn't just go, well, it's breaker, so he needs a headset with a cord and a backpack, and doesn't have to be slavish to the G1 design, but look at what matters.
Yeah.
Keep it, update it, and if you want to add something that makes sense, like the visor, do it. And it's great. And the community adores this figure.
Mm-hmm.
There's notes you have to hit when you're redesigning figures, but you don't have to be married to the whole design. Certainly not. You know, it's like doing a Flint figure without a black beret. That's silly.
Yeah.
But you don't have to keep much else the same, really.
That was something I pushed at when I was at Hasbro, when they were with IDW. Whenever they were using Scarlet, unless it was an absolute retro play on the cover, I would send stuff back all the time and say she wears pants. Stop giving her the leotard. Stop giving her the one-piece swimsuit that I know the original figure came with, right? Because she doesn't wear that anymore. So unless it's an absolute nostalgia play, let's make her combat ready. And this is the same kind of thing. I dig it. They did such a good job on this.
So I'm busting out my paper notes here because I had to watch today's presentation while I was at work. But the Retro Wave 4 will be revealed officially at Walmart RetroCon.
Can't wait.
More on that in a minute. There is going to be a tie-in with G.I. Joe for the PC game World of Tanks Modern Armor. I don't know anything about that game, so you guys feel free to look that up if you will, or better yet, go watch. When we get done, go watch the presentation from earlier today. There was some good stuff in there that I'm sure we missed. There are some die-cast figurines coming from Jada Toys. We've already seen Baroness and Snake Eyes as part of that six-pack. They did show off a Lady J. They're expanding their offerings a little bit. Hopefully they look better than they did the first time around, because I was not a big fan of those. They were awful soft.
No.
But they
World of Tanks is a mobile game, not a PC or
okay. All right.
console game.
Okay. So you can read the comments too and try to sound like an expert.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I thought it was like a PS4 game. I was like, I've never heard of this game, but okay.
All right.
Thank you, Matt. I was heck? I'm gonna go online and try and find that game. It's a mobile game.
Sure, you say so. And those diecast figurines should be out in August. They are general retail release. Also coming in August, a 112 scale remote control Vamp Mark II.
Yes!
And that's what got Joe Colton excited because she's a destructive sort. But that was really neat. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it holds figures. It's in scale with the classified figures, but it doesn't look like it holds them. But again, you get to have a remote control Vamp Mark II that you can jump off of ramps. Maybe, theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
Over.
Two things on that Vamp.
Yes.
If you look out with a straight face and your G.I. Joe shirt on and say, "We're so excited to bring you the Vamp MK2."
Look, I'm just gonna say go watch the presentation, and you can enjoy them missing the ramp completely with their Vamp Mark II, just the same way we did this morning. So it's worth
It's
it.
awesome.
And wait for the big announcement about their HISS tank coming soon, right?
Stop it.
The other thing on the video, and this is valid.
It was awesome.
They broke the missile launcher.
So bitter.
It is hanging off to the side.
That is true.
Which is a terrible look for a toy you're showing to be tough and can jump around.
McDowell chipping in. World of Tanks is on the PC and consoles as well. So
okay.
Everybody's right.
Right. They broke the missile launcher, Mike.
That was pretty awesome, though. I thought that was hilarious.
And didn't reshoot it. Maybe that was the only one they had.
Probably.
And didn't fix it or glue it in or anything. And I get that Hasbro doesn't believe that Prophet Director Destro is problematic from a racial standpoint, but one pretty prominent voice attached to the brand does. So maybe you don't have to do the pimp joke they threw in.
Sure, but I'm just gonna say it's worth it to watch them try to drive this thing and fail. So
yeah, as a toy. They didn't give us a price on this, did they? At all?
Not that I caught. No.
It's hard to judge if this is a buy or not without the price, right? Like that ridiculous Optimus they showed, right, a couple months ago that transforms itself and does voice commands, and everybody, even people who aren't robot fans, were like, "That's pretty cool." And then they went, "It can be yours for only $800," and you're like, "Well, yeah." It could be if I was going to.
You better cook me breakfast for $800.
Right? If I had 800 laying around.
Look, $800. That sucker sold out.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Wow. It's hard to say I'm going to get that Vamp if they don't give us any sort of price idea on it.
I figure it's going to be in that 80 to 100 neighborhood.
I was thinking 69.
A lot of stuff in that scale is in that ballpark to begin with.
But the doors don't, like, you can't even put a figure in it. I don't think they can go up to 100.
Well, and how hard would it have been? And maybe there's wiring in there, so it couldn't have been done. But how hard would it have been to at least make one figure be able to fit in? Maybe only the driver door opens, right?
For as fast as that thing goes, I imagine there's a lot of motor in there.
Probably. And if that's true, fine. And matter of fact,
the 80s though, they've made things smaller that go vroom vroom.
If they could have fit a guy in the driver's seat, they probably would have put Destro in there rather than sitting on the top, right? Like, so yeah.
So no, it doesn't appear you can get a figure in there, but again, go check out their presentation on it.
Still want it.
They didn't send any stills in the PR material that they sent, so I'm just going to let them continue to sell that on their own.
Nice.
But and lastly, from the presentation at Fan First Friday, there will be a live stream event centered around Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins coming soon. I would imagine that is also going to be part of Yojo June. So maybe in a couple of weeks, and we can have that. We'll have that recap for you when that happens as well. So yeah, any overall thoughts on Hasbro's portion of today's events? Mark Weber, you're so bitter, but go on.
I mean, People keep saying I'm bitter, but I usually say, I'm just keeping it real.
So angry this week.
But no, I thought, like I said from jump, I thought everything they showed was really good. By and large, like I don't like the little Jada figures.
Yeah,
but they're not.
Like
they're just they're small and they're kind of sloppy, but they're not expensive. They don't hurt the brand. If people like them, great, go get them. Not my thing. But even when Sigma 6 first came out, I said that's cool. I won't collect it, but I don't wish it badly, right? So anything is good for the anything attached to the brand is probably good for the brand. One thing I did like a lot that we'd only seen in kind of rumor that they verified. The Vamp MK2 guy said, look for our Amazon Lady J series currently in development.
Yes, I caught that.
I don't remember them officially stamping that before, which is, we all believed that was a true story and that it's coming, but that actually got the official Hasbro stamp today, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that news got out there, it's going to be in development.
Yeah.
Right? So
but Hasbro hadn't officially commented on that yet. So that was actually the biggest news of today. We love the figures, but that's a live action, probably adult-ish G.I. Joe movie or ongoing series. Lady J meets Alias, right? Something like that. Cool. Like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Who isn't? Right. So I loved everything they showed us today. Even if it wasn't for me, it's and I love that they acknowledged we know you're having trouble finding this and we are working on it. And they talked about a reissue wave of the Cobra Island stuff coming to Target later this year. So okay.
I like that.
Cool.
Right. Everybody looks pensive. Joe Colton, your overall thoughts today?
I really enjoyed the live stream today. I like the reveals. I like how they did it. Haley did great. I gotta say that. She did great today. I'm usually critical, so but
yes, you are.
The little minis, I think they're cute, but I don't have a desk in an office anymore, so I don't go into the office anymore to decorate. Shut up.
Trade in your ginger ale would improve your outlook.
Oh my god. I would have probably bought them just to have them at my desk at work, but we work from home now, so I don't need that.
Ginger ale.
I do like the honcho said. I like that they acknowledged and said that there was going to be steps to rectify the reissuing and of the Cobra Island figures. But I liked everything basically that they released. I really, really want that vamp.
And
the Ram,
says the former Canadian Hot Rod Fast and the Furious champion of Mississauga.
I'm afraid of her with that vamp, but that vamp can't.
You gonna bring it to cons and just
that vamp can't. You wouldn't think that vamp could hurt you, but I have a feeling Joe Colton would find a way.
I'm gonna buy one, and then if I can buy another one just to customize it and bring it to cons and take people out.
Provided that the missile launcher is a little sturdier in the final analysis, you can just turn that sumbitch backwards and then drive it backwards at people and stab ankles.
It's not a Jack Reacher film.
So good.
All right, and then so moving on for Hasbro's presentation today. Again, it's 45 minutes. Go watch it when we get done here. If you haven't already, it's worth your time. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been that stoked over a classified run
announcement
since the first one. Really,
come on,
fired up for all these guys.
They did have a few surprises. I didn't. Oh, the two things that I didn't like was that they reshowed the teaser. I'm not calling it a trailer, but the teaser, and I was like, we've all seen this. Like, I would have liked if they had something like a sneak peek for us on fan.
They're doing a
first Friday. I know, but like either just
stream for it.
Whatever.
Just even if it had just been No, I'm
A
with
new
Joe.
poster.
I'm with Joe. A new poster or a still image. Just
Yes.
something new. Didn't have to be much.
I love the teaser. Like I'm excited and hopeful for the movie. But
It's on
just
the
give me
next level.
something.
It's on the next level.
It's on the next level.
It's on the next level.
Okay, and then of course later today, after that the presentation was over, we brought up Retro Wave 4, and of course this picture starts making the rounds.
Hey, no big deal.
Right? Looks like it's part of Wave 4 Walmart Retro line there. And this image is courtesy of Joe Battlelines on Facebook. I don't know if that's where it came from originally or not, but that's
where you got it from?
I got it from, so that's who I'm crediting from.
All right.
It is very clearly a rework of 82 Stalker and Cobra Trooper there in Wave 4. As we understand, Wave 4 was going to have 3 figures and a vehicle, so this is a good chunk of it right here. Obviously, no vehicle, and we still got a figure to go, provided that original intel was correct.
Mm-hmm.
But Stalker and Cobra Trooper, good choices.
The green bazooka is a bit of a deep cut.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they needed that, but okay. And as I love seeing Stalker.
That's an homage to what, the J.C. Penney?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a good sign that maybe Zap's coming.
Yeah, it could be. And I love seeing Stalker just because we haven't had a Stalker figure in ages. But take a look here. I don't remember who posted this. This is somebody else's bit of feedback off Facebook. What they said, I guess Stalker's secondary military specialty is crushing watermelons with his thighs. Look at those legs.
He has really thick femurs.
He never misses leg day.
No. Leg day is life, man.
Dude, those are some bad legs. I don't know where they got them.
Aren't the troopers the same? They look like they were the same.
Nah, I think the holster's different.
The trooper looked like it was built off of the Fang pilot.
Oh, okay.
Looks like they redid it that way.
Tiny.
That seems to be a bit of overkill because they really got the trooper right in that Pursuit of Cobra run.
Yeah.
Trooper was a fantastic figure.
Yeah, it was.
They could put that thing out and nobody would complain. So I think redoing the Cobra Trooper is a little interesting, but whatever.
But look at Stalker's legs, man.
Hey, Matt Rubin sums it up best. Stalker has such strong legs because he carries all the weight of the rest of the team.
We get so little in the 3 3/4 realm that it frustrates me when there's something that clearly off from a physiological standpoint.
Maybe it's maybe they used the thighs from that 25th anniversary mutt. Remember, he had those giant legs.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
They put a holster on his one leg, and it made the one leg huge, and then they made the other leg huge to match it.
I always hated in the 25th, and it happened a lot, when the round part at the top of the thigh stuck out more than the hips. And that happened on a lot of figures, and it just looked atrocious.
It did even more than that in the Joe versus Cobra era when they did the new sculpt stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff was crazy.
Just bad.
But so that was that. So be on the lookout for those. Apparently, Retro Wave 4 is going to be available sooner than we thought.
Well, and you want to give them a ton of credit because there wasn't even a whisper of the Ram ahead of time, right? We all knew Barbecue was coming. That's been out for a while. But the Snake Eyes and the Timber, like, it's so good when they surprise. And good for them and good for us.
Yes.
When you tune in, make time, and go, oh my God, I had no idea. And then they say, yeah, later this month we'll have the Walmart stuff that's coming out at a special con. Or it's in stores already and you'll see pictures in an hour. Like,
clearly our R&D budget isn't getting used correctly. We need to be stationing people in random Walmarts on the West Coast or something.
Yes. Phil Donnelly.
I don't know where that picture came from. I'm just assuming because it seems like every time the Walmart stuff hits, it hits in the West Coast first.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so also recently, yesterday, in fact, was the first inkling of this one. And it was that Super 7 has obtained the license for G.I. Joe to be included in their retro active line.
No, reaction.
Reaction.
I was like, that's not what you read.
I don't know. I'm trying to juggle screens, so
Reading is fundamental, yo.
I wasn't reading it. I was trying to pull it from memory, and that's a bad idea. So, the Super 7 Retro Action Joes are going to have 5 points of articulation.
Reaction.
Reaction Joe, whatever. I don't. MSRP is $17.99 per figure, which seems a little steep.
A little bit,
but okay. But from what I understand, these are going to be versions of characters that we never got back in the day, either from the cartoons or from the comics, and apparently through some dubious dark channels, I understand they have a lot of these planned for us. So we've got 2 waves that we know are coming. We don't know everything in wave 2 yet, but here's what was reported for wave 1. This is from Jay Cochran at TNI. So thanks to him for the scoop yesterday and for the fill-in details today. Wave 1, Baroness, Cobra Commander, Destro, Quinn, Scarlet, and then Snake Eyes from Real American Hero, the cartoon, and then a bunch of Cobra Troopers and a bunch of green shirts. I'm thinking lots and lots of repaints to match up with the various incarnations we saw of Cobra Troopers in both the comic books and on the cartoons, and then G.I. Joe green shirts obviously are all from the animation.
Pink
is the Deke episodes had some pink green shirts.
Okay.
Pink helmet green shirts, like the UN or something.
Pink?
So maybe that's it. I don't know. There's no images connected to any of this stuff. So
that's a little deep of a cut, but okay.
Yeah, we'll find out as we go. But hey, again, if you got a whole bunch of these planned, maybe that's where you got to turn. It's an easy repaint, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And then Wave 2 has another Cobra Commander. I'm going to guess one of those has a hood. Snake Eyes comic version 1, and then more. So we don't know everything else that's in Wave 2, but Wave 1, as it is, looks chock full of different figures. And if you're into the reaction line or the retro guy line or the 5 point of articulation dudes that don't have O-rings, but hey, the scale is right, so maybe if you don't squint real hard at the display on your shelf, you won't notice these guys too hard. But $17.99 MSRP, and they can be yours.
I like Super 7 a lot, and I think they do great work, and I have a handful of friends there now, that from McFarlane mainly, but $17.99 is a bit of a steep price. Yeah. And Joe was one of the big reasons Joe launched so well was because it was better than this figure, this type of figure that was out there with Star Wars. So I think this will do okay. I don't think it'll do great.
Yeah.
But I like where they're playing. I like that they're putting out guys that didn't get done, or maybe didn't get done enough, or like Dr. Venom is the kind of guy I'd like to see in this line, right? Who was never easy to get as a actual 3 3/4 figure. So yeah, throw him in here, cool. But I don't know. I don't see anything here that I have to have, and I bet there's a lot of collectors who feel the same way. And at that price point, it has to sing. This isn't a impulse pickup at $18 each.
Yeah, I just think it's a real, like all of the reaction line. It's just all very either you like the aesthetic of it or you don't.
Right. Like
if you like it, you're going to pick up all of them. And
I think it works. It works great for like their Back to the Future stuff, right? Because there aren't Back to the Future figures, right? So if you want Marty and Biff and whatever, this is the best there is. But these, by definition, are not as good as the figures they are homaging. So a little bit expensive and not as good. That's some uphill sledding.
Yeah.
Which is why I think like Dr. Venom and Honolulu and that kind of stuff can actually make some waves here, because Honolulu, throw it, Bongo the Balloon Bear. Okay, it's not a great figure, but it's the best Bongo the Balloon Bear ever. So But like Quinn, we got a really good Quinn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know that I need a Star Wars Quinn.
I would like to see designs of guys from Sunbow or the comics that didn't necessarily work. Like the translation of it wasn't done in the figure. Like cartoon Ace is significantly different than the 83
Right.
Ace figure. You know,
Yeah.
cartoon Flash is significantly different than the 83 Flash figure. So those are the kind of guys I wouldn't mind seeing in a line like this, or even the goofy ones, like Shipwreck and Snake Eyes when they're on the run from those goons in that one miniseries where they're dressed as Satin's backup band.
Right.
Like that, those guys, yeah, do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I think there's more win there than just going, here's our version of Snake Eyes.
Yeah, here's yet another Snake Eyes or two in a month that's just full of Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Viper Scout's got to have been Cool Breeze, right? Or Mangler, one of those one and done guys. Like, best Cool Breeze they ever made, right? Yep.
Yeah, Joe Colton is having technical difficulties, so bear with us, please, as she gets herself straightened out over there. I had to mute her microphone.
Right?
I had to do it. She didn't do it herself. That's kind of weird.
She's probably cursing up a storm right now.
More than likely, we'll go ahead and duck her out for the time being. So we do have a little bit of time. I know there's more stuff going on. Rack Time Rob is putting together a Rack Time where he will discuss what's going on in the comic books a little bit more in depth. Oh, look, she's back. So we're not going to cover just in the name of some kind of brevity. We are trying to keep things south of an hour and a half to keep folks actually engaged with what we do here. So that is an honest to God directive that we're going to put some effort into. But yeah, all kinds of good selections or suggestions for this going in the live chat right now. And thank you to everybody who's here and engaged tonight. We're up over 50 of you in live chat tonight. That's a big turnout for us. So thank you so much for your time. We give you a round of applause from the sitting O. And you know what? What's on Joe Mind? The longer the stream, the better. Not always. You would think so, but not always.
Not always.
Not always. Apparently not. Regardless of how long we do this stream every week, people watch a half hour of it.
Yeah.
If we go for 2 hours, they watch half an hour. If we go for an hour and 10 minutes, they watch half an hour. So, yeah. Anyways, that's a good question. Joe Self throws out the question that I had for you guys coming out of this. What reveal from today is your MVP, or which one do you like the best is probably the better way to put it. Joe Colton, you've been gone for 2 weeks. Nobody's heard you talk in a while. We'll go to you first. What do you like best out of today besides the vamp? Because we know the vamp's your winner, so give a second one.
Well, it's a tie with the Ram.
Okay.
I'm just happy we're getting vehicles. Figure-wise, I'll probably say Snake Eyes and Timber are the winners for that.
All right.
For me. Just because Timber. Like, wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Timber. Again, Snake Eyes and Timber got me out of my chair, too. That was absolutely the moment where I geeked out. I'm not even that big of a Snake Eyes guy.
Yeah.
And that was just awesome.
He looks fantastic, but
that Snake Eyes is incredible, and Timber is great, despite the little chest cut, which the honcho is going to try and kill.
Yeah.
Because how could you pose out a dog without torso articulation?
Look, if he's going to be sitting at a table playing cards, he needs that.
Oh, that's a good point. Hiding the ace under the table. Yeah.
So, Mark, what's your big pick from today?
It's Breaker. Like
the click.
Breaker's perfect. Other than the small nit that we threw in there, would have liked to have seen a pistol or a knife or both. Almost as an apology for sending him into combat in '82 with just a headset to call for help. But I love that.
At me, send help.
I love that they put him with the Ram because that's what the artwork originally showed. Although it showed him clean shaven, and the face is great. and it's such a good basic look. And as a kid, I always liked the Joes that looked more realistic military. Like as much as and I like some of the goofy guys too, as much as I like Fast Draw, it got goofier as it got later. But when a guy would show up like Hit and Run or Recoil or Repeater, I loved those guys because they looked like authentic military. And that's what Breaker looks like to me. And I think it's the perfect kind of classified figure where they took a beloved original and were not slavish to his original look. Thought, what would Breaker look like today? And what are the key things we cannot lose from the original figure? So I just think he is world class. And my fear is that they won't make enough of him. Like, because he is a customizer's dream, and they'll be trying to get 12 or 13 of him. So I don't think they can make enough. I mean, without being hyperbolic about it, whatever their number is, if they doubled it, I don't think it would be enough. And I'm willing to bet nobody there considered the customizer pull on this figure, because there aren't that many like what percent of the overall customer base are customizers? 3%, 5 tops maybe, but they're going to buy so deep on this that I'm willing to bet they didn't even consider that when they put it out. And this figure is that good. So Breaker, hands down, lots of good stuff today, but that Breaker figure is outstanding.
All right. And as we pull into the station, we'll get back to more of our normal segments. With what we got in, Joe Colton, you've been gone for 3 weeks. What'd you get in?
So you got a brand new mute button.
Well, it's an old mute button.
I got my Flint, but not my Lady J that came in. He came in a couple days ago. And then I got, I went out and saw the Cruella movie this week. And I had ordered the actual like limited edition 17-inch doll, and she looks fantastic. Because she is a doll. So,
on a side note, how good is it to be back in a movie theater?
It was my first time, and there was 2 other people like way in the back.
There you go.
And I was like, do you remember when when I was little, you'd go and like you'd be like, oh, I'm going to the movies. It almost felt like that, but then there was nobody in there. Because when we used to go to the movies, if you saw nobody in the theater, it was like, oh, this is going to be a dud.
Right.
Right now, you're like, why are there so many people? Like, they all need to leave. So, it was good.
If there was nobody in the theater, it was usually a movie that I was going to see. I go to see some pretty lousy movies.
Do you? Are you like you like the B-rated movies?
Well, not so much that, but like in the 80s and 90s, as I came of age, you could make a crummy comedy that wasn't expected to make $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it would get its couple of weeks in the theater, and that would be that. And it's kind of a class of movie that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those would be the movies that I'd go to see. Like Who's Harry Crumb is a Mike movie. You know, really anything by John Candy is a Mike movie. But UHF was a Mike movie. There were 4 people in the theater to watch the Weird Al Yankovic movie UHF, and me and my friend Matt were at least 3 of them.
I don't even think I've heard of that movie.
Oh my god!
Oh, fine film.
It's a classic.
Is it stupid funny? Because I don't do stupid funny.
No, it is absolutely stupid funny, but it is a cult classic. You need to watch that movie. It's so good at stupid funny that you'd probably enjoy it. Okay.
Wheel of Fish.
Wheel of Fish.
My son selected from the movies this week Blade Runner to watch for the first time.
Yeah.
And I warned him it is kind of slow, but fine film. And at the end of it, he said, "So Harrison Ford shoots women and gets beat up by men?"
Yeah.
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 That's Blade Runner. Sorry, spoiler, but that's Blade Runner.
Was he confused?
No, he got it. It wasn't over his head, but I had to warn him it was kind of slow. And I remember when it first came out, even though it was rated R, we didn't see it, but we were all excited because it was Han Solo, right? Because it came out between Star Wars movies. So another sci-fi movie with Han Solo, cool. And then found out years later, it's a really kind of slow detective piece more than
yeah.
It was a real science fiction movie, not an action movie in space.
Right. Well, and it does. The cool thing is because it's shot so dark and rainy, it holds up pretty well. It doesn't look like a sci-fi film from 40 years ago. But anyway.
Yeah. No.
Also, probably hides Harrison Ford's wrinkles.
Well, he was like what 31 when he made that, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was beefcake, Joe Colton. Check it out. That was some prime Han Solo.
Okay.
To answer Matt Rubin's question, no, Kramer did not debut in UHF. Michael Richards had a long career long before UHF even. It was just another step along the way before anybody knew who he was. But yeah, so
what I got in? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Next question.
Nothing.
But there's a whole pile of loot sitting at Big Bad Toy Store, just waiting for their repaint Roadblock to come in, which has been delayed a couple times. So as soon as that arrives, I'm going to shame both of you with what I got in. But it's all sitting in the pile of loot. And,
look, that's not hard, right?
What?
Like we're not. Well, Joe Colton can sometimes.
She's got a 17-inch Cruella.
Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't say. Oh, I went out, I bought 42 Dalmatians, and I'll get the rest of them to make 101 later. I have to figure out where to hide them so Wes doesn't kick me out.
Joe's saving her money to buy a bunch of those 18 packs from Jada Toys to army build the Red Ninja in there.
Yeah. So we need a front door mat, like a welcome mat. And I found one that said, please hide packages from my husband. And I considered buying it only because I am the toy collector in the family. And like every other week, there's some toy coming in, like not purses, not shoes, just toys.
I found one that has a big, like a cartoony dog footprint on it. And it says, it's perfect for Emma, my little 10-pound terrier. It says, ring the bell and I shall sing you the song of my people.
Oh, I love it.
So I did pick up something a couple of weeks ago. After we heard the ballad of Joe Colton, child competitive eater.
Oh my God, what is happening right now?
Like after that, so, and I'm sure that you didn't see this because you tend to ignore us on social media, despite being on the program.
Used to be on the program.
Yeah, about to say, clearly I said something wrong. I was holding the toy in one hand and was, over here with the other one, not touching any keys. I didn't do this one. This isn't on me. There she comes.
I'm seeing that toy though.
I'm back.
What did you do?
I pressed the button.
I'm not bothering to ask for.
Was it the leave studio button, the one in red?
No, it was the X button. I was trying to make the screen bigger and I pressed the X button.
Yeah. Okay.
Go on.
Good deal. Good job.
What did you get? What did you do because of me?
I'm glad you're keeping us safe Monday through Friday, Joe.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
And to think I'm the expert. There are people far worse than me.
What's this button do?
Mashing 5 of them together with her gorilla fists.
Go on.
Goodness. So anyways, since I'm certain you did not check our Instagram feed.
I haven't been online all most of the week.
This would be like 2 weeks ago. But I'm sure that you check our Instagram feed anyway. You don't associate with us in social media.
Okay. What is it?
Slow reveal.
Did you get one because of me.
I felt like I had to after that episode, frankly.
It's such a bad color combo.
Rob and I went up to Kokomo the next day, and that was the king of my haul was that.
Were they looking at you like, why do you want this?
No, because Todd sees all kinds of people that buy much stranger stuff than obscure G.I. Joe space stuff. So I had to explain why. And then I told them the story of Joe Colton, a Canadian child competitive eater. And they just they stood there in rapt attention.
What?
Now this is why you need to be playing our show on your monitor out there in the store, because that was an event.
Yeah.
And so that's what they did. They were turning it on as I left. And
so
our good
I feel like I need to go out there and just do an eating contest with.
Yes. We thought street racing legend was the dirty secret of Joe Colton's past.
No, not even top 3.
No, and now we found out competitive eater, and now we're like, wow, there might be more. What's the next reveal?
At this point, her Robin Sparkles moment is child competitive eater in Canada. Let's all go to the mall. My goodness. So yes, go back a couple weeks. Everybody, check out that episode, since we got some new
Oh,
stuff.
my jaw's hurting.
Everybody always thinks, oh, Joe Colton, she's the innocent. She's so innocent. She's so nice.
I am nice.
You are nice. I'll give you that. But
Until it's time not to be nice.
until it's time to bust some ass.
So
Oh.
after.
Rest in peace, Dalton. I'm gonna pour a little out for him here for my homie.
So after that episode, Wes the next day was like, so like, do you have a technique?
Right? He knew this, right?
Yes, and he was shocked.
I am going to guess that he didn't find out until after they were at least engaged.
What was his reaction when you first told him about this?
He was just like,
Yeah, because I gotta say, most guys, if they're being honest, are really just looking for a competitive eater to settle down. Like a girl who could really slam some poutine, like 13 or 14 jars,
Ayo.
or vats, or
oh my god,
Poutine
whatever.
on a jar food.
that's a heavy meal.
I know what it is. I just don't know how they competitively eat it.
With a shovel.
Apparently.
Oh my god, Matt Rubin is willing to unleash the 4 little words.
4-letter words. Letter words.
Yes, I didn't tell him right away.
So again, I'm going to guess it was at least until the engagement had started.
I'm just envisioning an early date or an early dinner where he's like, I was a pro wrestler. And you're like, cool, I was a street racer and a competitive eater.
As a child.
Right? That's like Check and Nate, right? Like, ooh, you're a wrestler.
So I didn't actually tell him.
Oh, no. He found pictures? Oh. Okay.
My mom was trying to explain it to him, and she's got she's an immigrant, so she speaks really broken English, and so he was very confused. And so then I told him, and he was like,
how do you say competitive eater in Greek?
But again, you guys were engaged before you told him, weren't you?
No, it was before that. Probably 6 months before. Like I told him a bunch of stuff right before. And I was like, just in case you're thinking about anything, I should disclose this. And then there's stuff he found out after we were engaged, and he's like, what is happening in my life?
It's always a good time. Always a good time. But that's it. We're about an hour and a half. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, before we find out anything else from
Right,
Joe Colton's dark past.
We got to save some for next week.
Right.
We
Oh,
got
no, too much. It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. It's just too much. So, Mark, we got an engagement on Sunday, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
Sunday?
So on Sundays we do the Eternal Baseball podcast. Me and my buddy Brent But Brent is on assignment this week. And he said,
for democracy.
Yeah, he said, do you know, you got somebody else who could do the show? I said, yeah, I know a guy. But he wasn't available. So so immediately we talk enough baseball on the pre-show that I knew Mike was my guy. So we get to pick what game we do. So we're doing Yankees Dodgers.
That's a good one.
Right, it's going to be a good game, and the Yankees for Mike, and we'll have a special Willie Randolph call up for the game, so Mike can have his favorite player eligible. If you haven't checked it out, Eternal Baseball is my side project. It's the best rosters for every Major League Baseball team, including the returning Montreal Expos and the Birmingham Knights, who are the greatest players in Negro League's history. And we're past the All-Star game, coming down the stretch. It's interleague play this weekend. And I know Joe is just dying to see the box scores of Toronto against Montreal this weekend, because it's the Battle of Canada going on in Eternal Baseball. So check out eternalbaseball.com. You can find us right here on YouTube. Mike and I will be on the air Sunday night, 9 o'clock Eastern for an hour. We go over kind of the weekend review, and then we manage the home team together. So we'll be the Yankees taking on the Dodgers this Sunday night.
Excellent.
It's going to be good.
Yes.
We haven't told A-Rod that he's sitting and Joe Gordon that he's going down for Slick Willie.
That's right.
But that's what's going on.
That's how it's going to roll. That's exactly what's going to happen here.
If you're ranking baseball players, I don't want to get too inside baseball with it, but it's basically A-Rod and then Willie Randolph somewhere.
Yeah. Like if A-Rod is on a scale of 1 to 10, if A-Rod is an 8, which is legit, right?
Yeah.
Willie Randolph is like a 14.5.
Yeah, it's basically A-Rod, Willie Randolph, and Ben Affleck somewhere here in the middle.
No, he's way down.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
sooner or later, it's going to be Willie Randolph and J-Lo. You watch.
Well, maybe. Willie still looks like he did when he played, and he's like 60-something years old. So
looks fantastic.
He might.
If he can't get a manager's job, he should just try out for a team.
Right? Yeah, like you see, he's the guy who still slides into bases on Old Timers Day, and he's something years old.
You are legally required to touch second base now, though, so that might be a real problem for Willie.
Oh.
Willie didn't have a problem touching second. He used to launch himself off of second base.
No, but he was the king of the neighborhood play, right? On the turn?
No, he used to hit second base and go straight up in the air.
And until Hal McRae speared him like Roman Reigns.
Hal McRae took him down. But basically he would go up in the air. You do the entire pivot in the air.
Oh, there you go.
On the double play. So he was very artistic. That was really what drew me to him, despite that and his ability to draw a walk.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out Sunday night.
He's going to bring it all to the table, man. You're going to see it. He's going to reach base 4 times. He will single-handedly sink the Dodgers.
We're going to lead him off. DiMaggio, got news for you.
Get out.
Down the line.
You don't have to hit him first, but 9th probably. It's like a second leadoff man.
You know what? Yeah, the sad thing is, actually, we're going to beat the road team because it's in LA. So probably hit 8.
All right, fair enough.
Good enough. You know who might pitch in interleague games? Sometimes I'll throw Ruth in there.
All right, excellent.
Get that bat in the lineup, right?
Yo. Oh, it'll be a good time. So tune in Sunday. Check us out.
Sunday night, 9 o'clock, right here on YouTube. Look for Eternal Baseball. We try to keep it an hour. It's not too much of a commitment. Always a good time. Better than last week's Astros Marlins barn burner.
And with that, we wish everyone a good evening. For my co-hosts, Joe Colton, the honcho Mark Weber. I'm Mike Irizarry. Thanks for tuning in to the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream for June 4th, 2021. Give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Kokomo Toys.
Toys.
Bob, the unsung fourth man of the What's on Joe Mind. And to all of you watching, be it live or on recording, we love you all.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share the video, spread us around. We love you. We need you. Have a great rest of the weekend.
And now you can push that X button.
No, you got
No.
You got to do the thing.
I did. I was holding it forever.
Do it.
How long do you want him to do it? Oh my god! I can't
Longest
believe it.
outro ever. Beer.